It's time to get a little less serious about wrestling. This is the alternate commentary table.
Hey, this is the National Treasure, the real world's champion and your Stu Hart Heritage Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis, and you're listening to the alternate commentary table with your host, Mitch Hontzias, and his sidekick, Dimitri something or other. By the way, you two, you might want to consider stage names, because I don't know if you know this or not, but Dimitri's fans in particular, they're not the brightest bunch. So asking them to spell Korolis, I mean, you're just asking for trouble. Right? Now, Mitch, that's a little different. Hontzias, a strong, unusual, independent name, befitting of a man of your intellect and wrestling IQ. Mitch, don't be afraid to tell Dimitri that he's got to start pulling his weight, okay? Because from what I understand and from what I'm hearing, I mean, you're just carrying this show. I mean, just absolutely pulling this wagon. And Dimitri, not only are you putting the brakes on, I mean, you're like a flat tire back there, right? And it's about time that you put some air in your tires and started putting rubber to the road. You know what I mean, Jellybean? If you don't know what I mean, maybe I'll just have to come and tell you face to face. But in the meantime, Mitch, keep doing what you're doing. I'm loving everything you're saying, particularly when you say nice things about the old National Treasure and the greatest Stu Hart Heritage Champion of all time. Dimitri, you need some work.
I absolutely love it!
No, I'm not in the mood to do a show.
Well, you should be. I'm pumped. What an intro.
I like the old one better.
I completely disagree. This one hits it right on the head.
Okay. 1 second here. Hold up. Before we get into anything, you are listening to the alternate commentary table with Dimitri Korolis, one half, not a sidekick, of the crew over here, and my partner Mitch Hodges. Don't forget, you can listen to us at Maguire Show wherever you are streaming your podcasts. Right. Maguire, Team MOW. Yeah, anyways. You know what?
Hey, listen. It's called, at work, I hear it here and there. It's called constructive criticism. The National Treasure, Nick Aldis, has done a promo for us. And I mean, because he is who he is, he speaks the truth. And I absolutely appreciate that he took time out of his very busy schedule. He's the champion. He's the Stu Hart Heritage Champion. And he did a promo for us. Thank you, Mr. Nick Aldis. Not only are you a humanitarian, you are the greatest of all time. Yeah, I said it.
I find he's overrated.
What?
I find that there are better champions out there.
You're clearly
personally think that he needs a little work on his end himself.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear the promo very soon. I just don't understand where you're getting off here. I mean, he did us a solid.
Listen, the National Treasure, in my opinion, is full of chocolate coins right now.
Hey.
And let me tell you something, Mr. Cream of the Commonwealth. It looks like it's curdled, okay? It looks like it's curdled. And yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing you face to face if that's what you want.
Hey.
And you know what? We have an opportunity to see each other face to face, because if you don't know, now you know, or you're going to come to know that there's this promotion local to us in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, called Dungeon Wrestling, October 27th. Mitch and I have the honor and the privilege to join the podfather himself, Mike Maguire, at the commentary table where we are calling the matches. If you're in the Calgary or Calgary area or not and just want to come to Calgary and watch some real good legacy wrestling, you can go to eventbrite.ca.
Right.
Look for Dungeon Wrestling. It's WrestleWeen 3. There is a stacked card. I will say, so Harry Smith and Nick Aldis are fighting for the Stu Hart
I wouldn't call it
Championship.
very much of a fight. You know what I mean? What I'm going to tell you is that the national treasure, the cream of the crop, the greatest of all time. It's a no-brainer, but he has to challenge whoever seems to want to like take him on. I don't know why you want to do that to yourself. That's my big thing. I've never understood it. Like, you look at him, he's a specimen. You're like, why would I want to go? Why do you want to go up to the guy you know is going to beat you senseless and say, well, I at least fought you? And
listen, he's the curdled cream of the Commonwealth, and he's maybe the cream of the crop top. That's all I have to say.
I'll tell you, the only thing that's been curdled over the last couple of weeks is WWE Raw. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. We'll get to you guys in a minute.
Yeah, fair point.
We'll get to you in a minute. Nick, thank you very much. Podfather Mike, thank you very much.
I just want to say, so again, streaming the podcast, McGuire on Wrestling, anywhere you're getting your podcast, Team MOW on the Facebook page. But I do want to reiterate, I believe you're going to want to tune in to McGuire's show tomorrow.
I agree.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to be the first one in line.
If you're listening to the act right now,
alternate
commentary table, you are just going to want to listen to the McGuire show. That's all I got to say. Hey, it's going to be great.
We'll see.
It's going to be fantastic. Last but not least, before Mitch gets into it, we got a lot to talk about this week. McGuire show is the direct link right now where you can go. You can get your merch. Team GWO for life. Thank you very much. Mike, you lay off Joe W.O. Okay, you do not talk to him in that tone. Yeah. He's one of us now, and it's not our problem that he's joined the light side. And another thing.
Right.
Just want to clear everyone's name here. Mitch, you're a little hard on the McGuire last week. And I got caught up in the storm myself.
Was I?
No,
listen. I may have overstepped. I'll be the first one to say it. I may have said some things that aren't true. Just because I want the ratings. Just because I want the heat. Everything's cool now.
There's a little embezzlement.
Maybe not.
There were allegations.
Maybe we're cool, Mike. Maybe we're not.
No, you are.
We'll see.
Oh, I ain't got Nick.
Find out at WrestleWeen if we're cool. Find out.
Anyways. Yeah, you blasted the guy. And then I got caught up for the ride only because I'm riding shotgun in the same car.
You either ride or die with me or you're not. It's you,
He's a good man.
No one's saying
he's a good man.
I'm not saying he isn't. I may have alluded to it, but I didn't mean it.
We're just trying to be funny. There's no funny business going on. We can't wait to get our merch. Yeah, well, the way you made it sound.
Come on, if you can't take a joke, you can't take a joke. Mike's the best, greatest of all time as well. Second in line to Nick Aldis. Okay, let's get into it. Last week, we talked about it a little bit. Hey, do you think Adam Copeland / Edge is ever going to go to AEW? Damn, is it everyone listening to this podcast? Because it's as though he heard and he goes, hold my beer and watch this. At Wrestle Dream, he shows up, makes his entrance, does his thing. Two-part question, Dimitri. Do you like that Adam left WWE for maybe greener pastures? Is it going to be greener pastures at AEW? And what did you think of the whole intro coming in, everything?
I loved every little bit of it.
Really?
You want to know why?
Sure.
I love the fact that it was a surprise, not like Jade Cargill, where everyone knows it. I mean, they were handcuffed because I think we talked about this. If they didn't just announce the news, everyone knew it anyways,
right?
The way it was teed up and all that, so you kind of had to. Whereas this one, you're dealing with a WWE lifer.
Yeah.
One promotion, one career, like that is it. Whereas Christian Cage went to TNA, went to AEW, went back a couple times. Like you kind of get it from him.
Right.
But Edge, you think this is one of these Mario Lemieux scenarios. You start with the team, you end with the team. So when he came, you're like, oh my God, he actually did it and did it earlier than everyone expected.
Right.
So I love the intro. I love the little tweak change up in the music. But here's what I love the most. I love that AEW got rid of the CM Punk mess.
Yeah.
And brought in what they needed and wanted out of what they thought they could get from a CM Punk. Edge is bigger than CM Punk, in my opinion. He's better for the talent. He's better for the locker room. They completely upgraded. And CM Punk, this is why you don't leave your girlfriend at the bar at 2 a.m. when you're saying, I just need to go to the washroom and I'll grab your coat, right? When it's right before last call. Because guess what?
Good point.
The silver-tongued devil came in and says, oh, you're here on your own. What do you mean? What do you mean he went? It doesn't work that way.
That's right. You know what? Everything you said, I love it. You're right. This is what a great alternative to the scenario that transpired with CM Punk. I love it. I think it's great. I do agree with our newest member of the GWO, the JWO, Joe, where if you're going to bring him out, you can't do like a 5-minute walking down the steps and doing and the pyros are going off and everything. The music, obviously, you need the music to come in, people to pop, but then get into the ring and do your thing, not take 5 minutes to get down the ring. You're killing the whole thing. So I couldn't agree more with Joe.
Yeah, 'cause he's like, how did they know?
Yeah.
If it's a surprise, how did they have this whole production worked out?
Joe said it beautifully on the Facebook page, on the MOW. I loved it. I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what I would have picked up on had I watched it live. When I did see it and he had mentioned it, I was like, yes, that's exactly what I would say. Do I think he's great for AEW? Yeah, I do. I think it's good. I think he left WWE as perfect as you could possibly look. The guy was told he couldn't wrestle anymore, is off for like 7 or 8 years, whatever it was, comes back during that Royal Rumble, coming in at what, number 27 or whatever.
I can't remember.
It was a late number.
When he... That was, buddy, this guy is crowd pop central, man.
He gets a crowd pop there, has a good run in the WWE. Then on his anniversary, his 25-year anniversary in Toronto, his hometown, gets to have one of the best matches I've seen of the year with Sheamus to kind of end it all. And then his contract beautifully ends. It's no fighting. It's no arguing. He even went on Instagram and said to everyone, hey, listen, I'm talking with WWE that we're not there yet. And he left like a gentleman. So respect to how he went and everything. I like it. Now, here's the thing. As I watch the rest of Dynamite on the Wednesday night, and he, gets out onto the ring and calls out his boy Christian Cage and says, hey, get out of here. I'm sorry I did what I did at Wrestle Dream. I'm sorry I had to attack the dinosaur in Luchasaurus. I'm sorry I hit that other little guy that was with you, Nick Swerve, or whatever that guy's name is. I'm sorry, but don't you remember the good times? We were beautiful together. Let's make this happen. And then Christian comes down, and it's looking good. Gives him the hug. And then Christian does what only Christian can do.
GFY. Yeah.
Loved it. Loved it. This is what I love about AEW. That.
Yeah. Just that and that alone. It was unreal. And you know what? Christian Cage.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless him that he's the TNT champion.
Yeah.
But you look at stuff like that, and why can't he be the AEW champion? He plays this thing perfectly. He's so good.
He's great, man. And you know what? Maybe they're going to look, because when he first came to AEW, there was that push for him then, right? Now that he's got his feet wet in the organization, he's got a belt. Now the fans love him. I'm sure they love him as much as we do. It's slowly going to happen because him and MJF, man, that is a beautiful combination that could happen, especially on the microphones. I just don't understand how he isn't in jail because he murdered Darby Allin. That move, and I'm sure you've all seen it on the internet.
Dear Lord.
Buddy, look, anybody that tells me ever again that wrestling is fake, if I ever hear this again, I have that video queued up on my phone. Tell me how that's fake. I don't know how Darby Allin is not dead or paralyzed. That was one of the most vicious things I have ever seen. Coming off the apron in a body slam. And with all due respect, it didn't look like he had him 100% held up. It looked like he was struggling slightly or slipping or something. And he drops him right on the edge of the steps. It was vicious, man. I literally couldn't watch it too many times.
Dude, I had heart palpitations because you're like, the Moxley's out?
Yeah.
Because of injury. Danielson was out for a while because of injury. Like, these are marquee guys. That's the only blemish I have when in AEW is that I get the risks, but there is a point where you start taking too many risks because when you're struggling for talent and you're trying to compete with the other company, it's a big talent push.
Right.
For example, funny that NXT is having every WWE superstar on the Tuesday show because AEW has to, AEW has to do the show on the Tuesday. You know what I mean? You're
exactly.
like, okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. But when you're struggling for talent, you can't have these guys go out.
Be honest, back in the day when it was WCW and Raw on the Monday nights together, I was a flicker, man. I was back and forth. Where commercials, they were your worst enemy that day because WWE commercial, boom, WCW. Oh, good. Oh, wait a minute, they got me in the middle of something. Damn it, I got to go back. You need 2 TVs.
Listen. I understand ratings. I understand all that stuff.
Yeah,
but this is also a dangerous game.
Yes.
You want to know why? Because sometimes it's just better not knowing the gossip about your friends.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And just thinking and ignorance is bliss. What if, because you have the Cena, the Heyman, the Rhodes, they played the Undertaker's bell on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're basically saying like, hey, we got a big show coming up for you.
Yes,
okay?
Good point.
Asuka, I believe, is actually wrestling on the card as well.
I think you're right.
So anyways, they have all these people coming on Tuesday. For the reason because AEW's on Tuesday.
Right.
What if the ratings don't change that much?
Yes.
And now if you're WWE and you're like, uh-oh, we brought the megastars down to give a bump and help, but people still want to flicker back and forth to the AEW. There's a barometer test.
So I couldn't agree more. And you know what? Where they have to be crazy or also a little weary too, Dimitri, is you're giving the fans a lot. And we just want more and more. Be careful what you guys give us because we're just going to want it. Like if Tuesday's a hit from NXT and Tuesday's a hit with the title Tuesday as they're titling it, right? What? You can't take it away from us. Give us more.
So the problem that I see with this too is that you got this title Tuesday, right? Like you're basically starting a war right now when you don't need to.
Like look at this matchup on Title Tuesday: Hangman Adam Page versus Switchblade. Copeland makes his AEW in-ring debut against Luchasaurus. He's fighting a dinosaur.
Tell me what match at listen. Here's my thing. Tell me what match in NXT. In NXT, excuse me, is going to make someone change the channel when they see Edge on AEW.
This is what I'm saying.
Not one.
John Moxley's coming back to fight Phoenix for the belt again. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland for a shot at the TNT Championship. Powerhouse Hobbs after that debut against Chris Jericho. It's a very strong line. Like this is pay-per-view-ish kind of matches, you guys.
Yeah.
This is bad.
And now you're asking the big guys to come down.
And they're not going to really do a lot. They're going to, they're going to do what they do. Like a Heyman doesn't do much except for be awesome on the side of the ring.
Like you're almost better off at being a lost leader. Like I equate it to Starbucks.
Right.
Like some Starbucks locations are not making that much money.
But
true. You know what?
Yeah.
Let them go because they adhere to the corporate pool.
That's a good point.
Why would you acknowledge AEW to that extent? Because every wrestling fan in our demographic, I would say, be like, yup. They're scared.
For all
not scared, but they've acknowledged them.
For all our partners that deal with us as we watch our wrestlings on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays, you're just adding. You're not making this easy. No, I'm just saying. Now, can I tell you something about myself?
Yeah.
I mean, you know me pretty well.
I'd like to think so. As your sidekick.
So exactly. Hey. Everyone needs one. I mean, why are you so? Don't do this to yourself.
This is rude.
Don't do this to yourself.
How happy are you right now?
Don't do this to yourself. Hey, hey, look at me.
You know what it goes to show me?
Hey, look at me.
He's not busy enough. This guy.
Hey, look at me.
What?
You're okay.
I actually want to hit you so bad right now.
So real quick, South Carolina George, a good friend of ours for years and years. He's a huge wrestling fan. Messages us right away. He's like, guys, did you happen to see the Daniel Bryan versus Zach Sabre? He's like, this could be maybe the match of the year, 5-star, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Did I do that?
Yeah, you said the Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that's his name, isn't it? Oh, Bryan Danielson. Dude, this guy, I'm going to call him Bryan. For everyone going forward, his name's Bryan. I can't do this back and forth thing, okay? The Bryan. So Bryan took on Zach Sabre. Apparently it was like the greatest match of all time. So I pull it up. I watched it. I was like mesmerized. But I'm going to tell you a little something about myself. I realized that I'm a pop guy in wrestling. I love that these guys are technical. I appreciate what they do. I really do. But I realized I'm a pop guy. I just want to say that.
So, contrary to popular belief, is that sometimes I like siding with you. Okay?
Wow.
I watched that match.
You're right.
Amazing.
Unreal.
Listen, like there's no denying how amazing it was.
Right.
But to sit here and to say that it was the best match of all this, that, and the other thing, I agree with you. To me, it was actually that the tragedy of that was that wasn't on a bigger stage because it might have elevated it bigger in the same match.
Right.
I needed a bit more. I needed a little more drama, I think. When I think of matches where I go crazy.
Yes.
I go back to WrestleMania 18, Hogan and The Rock, where the Hulkster's kicking out and hulking up, but he can't because he's an NWO guy. And your mind's going, what?
Exactly.
Am I drinking Coke? Am I drinking Pepsi? I don't even know anymore. And you look down and it's water.
This is what I'm saying.
This is what I need.
This is it.
This is the kind of stuff that, that I need, right? So that's where I would say, you brought it up earlier, like Edge and Sheamus, for example.
Yeah.
I actually like that match better.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Because it wasn't a more technical, this was, okay, let me equate it.
Sure.
Danielson, that match.
Brian.
Yeah. Daniel Bryanson the third.
Yeah. Just Brian. You're Brian. That's it. Brian.
Hold on a second. Yeah, why don't you tell your buddy Nick Adidas to go
Hey, watch your mouth on this show.
The only name that you'll remember. Anyways, so what I'm saying is that was Macho Man Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what that was. That was Macho Man Ricky Steamboat. It's in the archives. Technical match, supreme mastery. You give it everything.
Right.
But you want to know what it wasn't? It's not Andre Hogan.
This is what I'm saying.
It's not Andre Hogan. And that's where I give it to the Edge and Sheamus.
Yeah.
We're buddies. We're friends.
I'm just saying, as much as you guys give us, just remember, we don't need a lot. We need something.
Yeah.
I'll say this. We need precision. We don't like seeing guys falling off the ropes and making a fool of themselves and hurting themselves and all that stuff. But what Bryan and the Zach guy did was so extra and so good. The problem is it's not appreciated. It's really not as appreciated as it should be. That's all I'm saying.
It's appreciated to the wrestling.
Yes. And to me too.
Yeah, to me,
love it.
I
I'm
get
not trying
it.
to cut it down.
No. It's kind of the problem. Even John Cena, for example, they introduce him as the greatest of all time.
Right.
Okay. Don't just throw that in our face. Right. Or, oh my God, this is the best match I've ever seen in my entire life. Don't just throw that in our face without really putting some thought into it. That's all I care about. You couldn't help yourself.
I couldn't help it.
The Nick Aldis, he got to you. He got to you.
Hey, I'm not going to interrupt the gentleman. I'm not interrupting him.
And by the way,
yeah, sure.
That better not be the intro moving forward.
Oh, that's the intro going forward.
No.
Oh, what? You can't cut a promo like that and just leave it to the side? That's forever.
Sure, whatever. Okay, hold on. You know what? You know what? You know what? Faithful over here, all you GWOites, go to the Team MOW Facebook page. I want the feedback.
Yeah,
because I refuse.
I'm happy to do it.
Refuse to be called a sidekick.
Hey,
a flat tire.
Man, there was Tom. There was Jerry. There's Maverick. There's Goose. There's Mitch. There's Dimitri. What's your problem, man?
I'm what counts around here.
Man?
I'm what counts around here, not your country clubs and your TV shows.
Sure, buddy.
No, I'm kidding. That was a casino reference, by the way.
Who is running the ship, though? Can I tell you who is running the ship at the WWE right now? It isn't Dominic. It's not Cody Rhodes. It's not any of those guys. It's Rhea Ripley. Ooh. She is running WWE, in my humble opinion, all the way around right now.
I love what's happening with
Love
this.
it.
Right. I absolutely love it. So I'm curious because this is what I love about wrestling.
Yeah.
When you fool me or make me think where the angle's going to go.
Right.
Does Priest break off? Is there a schism? What? Is the other guy coming in? How does he cash in his money in the bank? Does he cash in? Like, you know, it'd be amazing if he cashed in the money in the bank on Rhea Ripley and took the woman's title.
Pen drop, buddy. That's the greatest idea.
Is the greatest move of all time. Drops the money in the bank on the Ripley.
Dude, you know what? You're back on top with me, buddy. You're back.
Looks like my tires got a little more air, Aldous. Huh?
You know, that's all. Nick just needed to put you on the right road. Look at you today. Look at you today with these good ideas.
Dude, could you imagine? That would be the game changer.
Well, listen, I see her coming back. You know, she took on, she runs to the ring and kind of, you know, has her revenge and everything like that and running around. And then, you know, Paul Heyman shaking her hand, knowing who's the boss of the family, basically taking care of the business. I love it, man. I think she's on a trajectory that no one really thought. You know what I mean? Just like Dominic. As much as we love him, you can't deny that this kid is starting to take shape, man. He got his belt back. He's moving. He can't say anything on the mic without like people like, you know, stopping him and yelling and screaming. It's working.
And you know what I like what they're doing with him? This is a point in case where they're protecting him and helping him enhance week over week, where it's like, you're really bad on the mic, Dom. Like, you know.
He is bad, yeah.
But let's make it good bad.
Yeah.
You know, you're decent in the ring, but let's make it great decent.
Agreed.
In the ring. You know, it's just awesome.
And here's one reason it's probably being even highlighted more by me. When I see Bobby Lashley taking on Rey Mysterio, seen it, boring, sorry, can't get behind it 100% right now. When I see, which is the other match I had? Oh, Xavier Woods versus Ivar? What?
Can we just listen?
What is this?
You know how I feel.
What is going on here? No. I don't want to see a Viking with a guy with a trumpet. No. No.
Has the New Day run its course?
What is that? Is that a trumpet?
It's a trumpet. No. Is that No. That's a trombone. Trombone?
No,
yeah, the trumpet's the short one. With
you're
three.
right. But the trombone's the big one, I think.
Yeah, that's what he's got, doesn't he?
No, he has. He has.
Yeah, that's a trombone.
Oh, is that trombone?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying.
Because the tuba.
Tuba is the one I was thinking.
You're thinking the big. There's the French horn, and then the tuba.
You're right.
Yeah.
And so what? But you know what? Hey, WWE fans, at least we're watching a Viking taking on a trombonist.
Has the New Day run its course? Is it done?
Yeah, a long time ago, bud.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It just
like without Big E.
Yeah, when's he coming back?
Jinx, Mitch. Sorry.
Now you're back down one level.
My daughter's on the Jinx train. Come on. Dude.
Okay, last thing that we'll talk before we sign off, because I just got to go and show everybody this promo.
Oh, jeez.
Rumor, and I think it might have been a signed deal. I'm not sure. Maybe Michael will break it open with Mr. Meltzer tomorrow. Will Ospreay signs with WWE. Is that a real thing? I saw something. I'm not sure if it was real or not.
Ooh.
I'm trying to... What's the word in journalism? You're trying to find your sources. Trying to make that concrete.
Yeah,
I don't know. Will Ospreay to the WWE is a big play.
I think Will Ospreay anywhere is a big play, but that's a little bit of a Swerve Strickland in itself.
Yeah, nice play.
See what I did?
Taking it all the way around. If Adam Copeland leaves and WWE was sad about it, but you're bringing in a Will Ospreay, not bad. It's a fair trade. I think that's a fair trade.
State of wrestling is good.
Yes, it is.
But I will say this. We've been talking all this. Raw is boring to me.
Yes.
SmackDown is a perfect way to end the week.
Yeah.
But AEW, Dynamite right now is number one. And I'll be honest to say it. I don't know if it's just me.
Mm-hmm. I
could actually care less about Collision. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not super into it. I'll be quite honest. I'm not saying that they don't have good storylines. They just haven't. Look, there's a lot of wrestling. We've said it before.
Yeah.
Like, we want to talk a little bit about the impact that goes on, Impact Wrestling as well. There's so much, but these are the three majors, and throwing the NXT as the number 4 and 5 with Impact. Long story short, we're always going to concentrate on these three and then throw in whatever we hear and see. Yeah, I agree with you. Right now, AEW, in my humble opinion, better storylines, better just setup. I don't know what you want to call it. One last thing. Kind of funny you bring that up because I know you're reading my notes. What was bigger? Alternate scenario. Tag me. It's Attitude Era Rock and Stone Cold or the NWO. So, like I said earlier, if you had to watch, like come Tuesday, you had a chance to watch Rock and Stone Cold in their prime or the NWO, who are you watching? Tag me in.
Mitch, that is maybe the hardest question in the world. I can only answer it as best I can. At that time,
right,
I was majority WWE for me. It was DX, it was Rock and Stone Cold. But the NWO is what made me change the channel. And there was a time when I changed the channel a lot. And there was a time when I was only buying WCW pay-per-views. Let me tag you in. Your thoughts?
I have to agree. I as much as I loved the Stone Cold and the Rock, I said it earlier, I was more of a pop guy. I wanted to just see them come in. Didn't care that much for the wrestling, more or less. And then watch the NWO because, I don't know, there was just this I felt bad watching it. And like, you know what I mean? I felt like I was cheating on my girl by watching NWO over the Rock and Stone Cold, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
It was good. I knew she'd take me back. Okay, take me in. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to end the debate here. This is where I stand on it.
Right.
When it was just NWO black and white, just NWO,
Yeah.
before any Wolfpack and splits,
agreed.
I was an NWO guy. When the Attitude Era in its prime, we're talking, Rock, Stone Cold, DX. Oh, you didn't know?
You better call somebody.
You want to talk crowd pops? That might be the greatest crowd pop entrance anything of all time. These guys had it down. But let me tell you what else is an amazing crowd pop. When you put on the alternate commentary table on the McGuire on Wrestling podcast feed and anywhere where you're streaming podcasts, you can get it. Here's another one. You want a Facebook pop? No problem. Go to Team MOW on the Facebook page. You want another pop? Perfect. Pop out that credit card and get some merch going on. GWO. Join the movement. Do it. We're good people over here. Coffee mugs and shirts and hoodies.
Nick will tell you. We're great people over here.
You know, I was on a roll. I'm getting sick and tired of you bringing up Nick Aldis.
Nick's the best.
Come see Nick Aldis, October 27th, Dungeon Wrestling, Eventbrite.ca. You know, there's so many better things going on than just Aldis. And by the way, you're talking about a guy who threw a shirt at the McGuire and a towel at the McGuire.
First off, Mike looked sweaty. He looked tired. And Nick did him a solid and threw it going, hey, buddy. Hey, here's a towel. Wipe yourself down. Like, you look tired. You look exhausted. I mean, Mike drives a lot. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
How about when he threatened him in the ring?
I think that was, you know what? This just shows me you weren't listening. All he said was, Mr. Michael, I do not agree with the sentiments that you are currently projecting my way. That's the way I heard it.
Listen, I'm going to say it right now.
Sure.
Me and the McGuire versus
Be careful. Be careful you ask for it.
And the Aldis, one night only. In the alternate scenario universe. GWO belt on the line. Listen, thank you very much for listening for another week of the ACT. Enjoy a happy Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. Again, catch up on all the podcasts. Thank you for listening to us. Don't forget to listen to the McGuire Show when it comes out tomorrow. There's a nice, it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. But again, another episode of the ACT. Appreciate it.